welcome to Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast, episode 240? 240.
Yes.
240? Okay, 240. See, I remembered. I was just making sure everybody else knew it. I am your co-host, Kiley Wilde, and I am joined by two gentlemen today. One of them, special guest, but also mod for Rapid Reviews and mod for my channel, KILEY_WILDE. Come check me out. Nana!
Hello, everyone.
And, of course, I am joined by my ever-present co-host, Pete Beckett.
Hello.
You
you also forgot thumbnail guy as well.
Yes. Oh gosh, yeah. Nana does everything. He does thumbnails. Everything you see on YouTube's is pretty much Nana regarding Rapid Reviews. Because Rapid Reviews. I meant the podcast. Because Rapid Reviews is like it's an entire channel that covers the whole thing. Kid
yeah.
So go check that out. Anyway, yes. So every week I like to start asking our guests, and we do have one. I can't believe it. I'm so happy. How their week's been. Nana, how's your week been?
We had a couple last week as well.
We had an extravaganza. Definitely go check that out. But Nana, how's your week been? What have you been playing?
Week has been pretty good, honestly, I would say. I can't really complain too much. I have not had time to play a lot because I have been working mainly, but I did play some of Zone Zero Season 2.
Ooh.
Yeah. I haven't finished it yet, but so far from what I've played, it's really good. They've made a lot of changes to the game. I didn't get up getting the new character. I haven't had a chance to properly play her, which is a bit of a shame, but I'm having fun with her so far. It's good. Yeah. I mainly this week I was doing the Steam Next Fest stuff, so I'll just quickly go through each game pretty much. So
yes.
Yeah, Pete, I will send you a list of the stuff because some of these names I don't think you'll get the spelling immediately from.
No, I was literally just about to start noting down your games. I'm like, yeah, that would be more helpful.
But I started off by playing Okko the Exiled. The best way I can describe this is a 2D platformer with Souls-esque controls, because the way you play that is you have a parry counter and it's on a meter. So yeah, I wasn't too into it, but I feel like it's more on the verge of just not for me rather than something that's a bit bad. But after that, I played Magical Girl Critical Deluxe. That was you did. It's actually a port of a mobile game to Steam, which is hence the deluxe name. But I found it actually pretty fun. It's a bit more of an old school platformer type of take on the thing. The dialogue in it is also really funny. So yeah, it was very enjoyable. After that, I played Multiplanetary, which this one was actually an alpha demo, but it's very polished. It's pretty much like Ratchet and Clank, but Ratchet and Clank is in space, but the idea is you're controlling an astronaut with a blaster and a punch gun, and there's a lot of humor.
Does it use a similar mechanics to Rift Apart?
Not that I can tell, no, but it's pretty fun so far, I would say. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Then I tried Formula Legends. I got into this game by a friend on Twitter, they posted about it, and so I was let me try the demo for this, and it's very fun. It's kind of a mix of a top-down racer with a normal arcade-style racer. I think I need to get good at it because I'm not the greatest with top-down racers, but I had fun playing it. I had a lot of fun playing it. And then I tried out AEROMACHINA Test Flight. That game is very fun. It's basically Metal Gear combined with the idea of a Metroidvania in tone and in graphics as well. So
God damn it, you had me the first half there.
But yeah, it's pretty fun, honestly. Like, I don't think a lot of these, if they have dates or not, I haven't like properly checked, I think. But
Yeah.
yeah, and then the last thing I did was Outrider Mako. That game looks nice, but it's another case of like weird combat because it requires you to
Right.
like jump on enemies and put nectar on them to slow them down and then attack
Yeah.
them. But
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah,
Sounds pretty
It's
fun.
always
but
weird.
yeah, it looks nice, and I did enjoy it, to be fair. But yeah, I think for this week, I think that's everything. Yeah, so all right.
Nice.
Very good. Well, Pete, how about you? How's your week been? And have you played anything?
My week has been, in terms of other things. Let's just say that it's been
Okay.
not too bad. But in terms of gaming, I've played a little bit. It's almost like there's a new console out, and I can play some new experiences.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard anything about that.
No, of course not. So I've decided to use this time to play some old experiences and not actually play anything new. I'm joking. No, I have played some new things, but I'll get to the one that I picked up today because it's currently on sale on the eShop. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1.
Oh.
So I started by picking up, and because it's obviously due out in August, the remake for free is out. So I've started playing Snake Eater. I'm literally only about 30 minutes into it. And it feels weird to play again because I've only ever played it on a PlayStation, so playing it on a Switch just doesn't feel right to me. I mean,
Yeah.
it's incredibly lazy as well because it is literally just the port of the HD collection that came out on PS3 and Xbox 360. Even during the loading
Right.
screens, it still says Metal Gear Solid HD collection. It's a terribly lazy collection,
Oh dear.
but for
Dear,
25
dear.
quid for 5 games, I couldn't complain, to be honest.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah,
I
it's
do wonder when.
good.
Uh-oh.
I think
we
Nana might have
lost.
gone. Yeah.
Yep.
We can come back to that one in a minute, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll report back on that one because Metal Gear Solid 3 is probably my favourite of the series. So, just feels weird playing a 2004 game or 2005 game.
Yeah.
Nana, what was you going to say?
Yeah, my internet.
Oh no.
Okay, we'll
Mine
move
will
on.
probably do that shortly.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
sure
on
you won't.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, so I carried on playing Street Fighter 6 this week as well.
Of
Played
course
a few,
you did.
played a few games of it because obviously it's on the Switch too. I can play it a little bit. I'd say a little bit more accessibly. I can play it on the Steam
Yeah.
Deck as well, but you know, just because it's there. But come to expect a review to go up of it on Mike Tendo 64's page or channel or website. I can't remember which one I'm doing, but yeah, I'll be writing a review for it over the next coming week. So need to write more of it. Need to do some more with that game, including some of the features that I didn't realise, including Gyro Battle, but I'll be doing that next week. I'll talk about that next week.
Interesting.
I also started...
That's interesting.
I started a game that I picked up on day one of the Switch 2, but didn't actually get around to playing. And it's also a game that I had played a little bit of originally on the Switch when it was released, but I didn't get much further with it. Deltarune. With chapters 3 and 4 now out, I decided that I was going to restart, and I'm about an hour in, and that battle system's very different to how it is in Undertale, isn't it? My goodness. I love it. I think it's incredible. Like, the story is already like really enjoyable. And I generally just like the characters of Chris and Susie. Obviously you can't say too much more than that after an hour, but I know certain things that happen within chapter 1, but I never got much further than that, so it'll be nice to go through, get chapter 1 and 2 done, and then on to 3 and 4 that were recently released. So yeah, but the main game that I've been playing this week is Mario Kart World. Of course it has been. I actually got some time to sit down and play it. The wife was out on Saturday, so I got to spend some time just relaxing. I've now completed every single cup. I've unlocked the final cup of the game. The last race will come as no surprise to anyone. I'm not going to say what it is now because I don't want to give spoilers, but obviously people probably know if they're Mario Kart fans.
I was gonna ask, what did you think of it?
It is probably the greatest track in Mario Kart history. It's
Yeah.
incredible. It is unbelievably good. It takes a little bit from other like versions of tracks that have appeared across the series, and just makes it its own. And my god, is it good! I got to play some online as well, so I joined up with a room with previous guest Richard and a few of his cohorts, and raced with Mike Tendo and had a few in there. It was pretty fun. Got to play some of the races online. The netcode is quite stable, it's quite decent, but that's what I would expect with it, because 8's was pretty decent at times as well. Did my first knockout tour as well, and knockout tour is a lot of fun. So if you haven't seen what knockout tour is, it's the one where you start out with 24 racers, you go through 6 sectors I think, and players drop out as you go. So it might be like the top 20 players go through, then top 16, then top 10, top 8, then top 4, and until you get a winner basically. And that was a lot of fun. And then played a battle mode, which was Balloon Battle, and that was okay. I've never been a big fan of the battle modes anyway. But what I have been doing mostly is actually exploring the open world. So I've been doing free roam quite a lot. Doing some of the P-switch missions and the question mark blocks, and unlocking costumes. And unlocking the costumes is quite annoying, to be fair. So,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. And yeah, I think I'm probably enjoying the game a little bit more than I was probably speaking about last week. But I still think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a better experience, if I'm honest.
That's fair.
Yeah, at least you're honest.
Yeah, but that's my week this week. Kylie, go on, crack on.
Before that,
Yeah.
first thing, the thing I was saying before my internet cut out. When do you think they're gonna do like Metal Gear Volume 2 of the collection with 4 on it?
2026, I reckon. So I was having this conversation with Gorney and Mike in our Discord, not Discord group, in the WhatsApp group with Barry from Impact Game Station as well. I think 2026 it'll be Metal Gear Solid 4, Ground Zeroes, Phantom Pain, Peace Walker. What was the other one? Portable Ops. And I also think Acid and Acid 2 are going to make it in there too. So I wonder how they're going to rework those ones. But I'd be surprised if if it wasn't 2026 to capitalise off of Delta's release.
Okay, that makes sense. And then the other thing, have you been tempted to pick up the Yakuza 0 Director's Cut yet?
No.
Okay.
I haven't looked into it, but I was hoping that there would have been an updated version on Steam. Because if they could have done an updated version with an upgrade path, I probably would have done it on there instead.
That's fair.
Just because I would like to have the English voice acting, just so I don't have to listen, so I can listen to it and just play it rather than reading subtitles as well. Because I'm a filthy Westerner, I can't read subtitles.
I never learned to read.
Yeah.
But yes, so I think, and Nana's gonna keep me right. I think on Monday, did we not do Hitman? Was that Monday?
We did do Hitman, yes.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay, so we did whatever that thing is called. You would think me as a Hitman streamer would know the things, but I can't keep them in my head. The thing where you kill the
elusive targets.
Yeah, that thing. That it's been called since 2016, and I just can't.
So
there's not enough.
So you did the Le Chiffre. Le Chiffre.
Yes, Le Chiffre. We killed Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah.
But actually, I got the general guide to do it. But here's the thing. Here's what was so cool about that and worth mentioning. I did approach it as I approach all of these elusive targets. For those who don't know, very, very quick rundown. You get like you get 2 chances, but you have to wait in between chances, and you can't save. So no coward saves, as I call them. So there's a lot of rules involved and things like that. So I never really make it very far because I don't know, if you know me, I'm a bit impulsive. I know that should take everyone by surprise. That should take everyone who's listening to this by surprise. Yeah, so I could be a bit impulsive, and sometimes I just want to punch people, and the voices in my head to tell me to throw spaghetti cans at them, or fish. I have hit people with fish, or push them off the side of a cliff. Now, if you do that during elusive targets, well, you've effed yourself in the A, and you're done. So, notably, I don't get very far. But in the Jean-Claude Van Damme one, for some reason, I did. And I did really well.
But you'd think the Jean-Claude Van Damme one would be all about kicking and punching people, wouldn't it?
It was. He also cloned himself, and you had to kill all the clones. And it was just fun. I killed everyone on the map. I just did an everyone on the map one.
Nice.
Which is not really what those are made for, but I did it anyway. So then I approached this one with that same kind of thought process. Oh, I'll give chat 2 or 3 minutes of enjoyment to see what the new map looks like, what Mads looks like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So we start playing it. And we did have the actual server drop twice. I will say that.
Which is quite normal for an IOI interact. First couple of days, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always rough. In fact, I have the website that constantly says if it's up or not.
Oh, the stats checker.
It's specifically for Hitman, World of Assassination. So I always have that up. But after we got past that, and we began to play it, I was really getting into it, and I thought, okay, well. I ended up getting, it was very funny. If you've seen Casino Royale, you know exactly what happens. It's out of order. The events are out of order, but it's the same events.
So if I'm doing this right, then you play a game of poker, you're on a break, you get poisoned. You then go back and play more poker. You run out of money. You then get a buy-in from a CIA agent. Then you go back in, you win the poker, and then you get captured.
Except, again, reshuffled a little bit, just a little bit of shuffling, but this is where they got me. This is where I was like, I got very excited. Yes, so you unknowingly get poisoned. It was unknowing to me. I didn't know it was going to happen, because I didn't expect it. And you have 30 seconds to make it to your car for the antidote. So again, following the movie. I did not make it.
No, which is really stupid. It's like, oh, you've got 30 seconds to make it to your car, but that walk would take more than 30 seconds. And if your adrenaline's running, then and you're running, it's probably going to speed it up a bit more. You're probably dead before you even hit the lobby.
Yeah, I was running through all of the places I wasn't allowed to go, trespassing and everything. I was like, F it, I'm going to die. I don't care. They can shoot me as I try to not be poisoned. I still... Again, passed out everything. So I was like, oh, okay. I was telling chat, well, that was fun. It was a fun run. We did it, blah, blah, blah. And then I woke up.
Oh.
I woke up tied to a chair.
Oh. So you get poisoned.
And I was like,
yeah. Okay.
Wait. Yeah, I was like, okay. So Mads is talking to me as...
So, are you butt naked by any chance?
I'm not. But
he is.
This is where I was like, I don't want to know. I would just be like, pause. Yeah, so chat, what you think? So, Mads Mikkelsen as Le Chiffre, he does a good talking to you. You can't believe you did that. Can't believe you accepted a drink from a stranger. Blah blah blah. Which is good advice, by the way. So he leaves, and you have the option of try and break free. And I was like, and it finally clicked what they're doing. They're giving us a preview of the James Bond game.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
And this next part sold me 110,000%. They gave you an option to either try and escape or move your hands back and forth or talk to the guard.
Mm-hmm.
I always choose the talking option because if it was me in real life, I talk my way out of every situation. That also may take you by surprise, I know. But so I was like, you know what? I will talk myself out of this. But the funny thing about that is there is an agent, for those who do know some Hitman lore, I promise that is coming. I'm bringing that documentary out. There is an agent that has followed Hitman from forever. He's a CIA agent. He's Agent Smith. He's in Blood Money. He's in World Assassination. You let him go outside of one of the prisons, and he's in his USA boxers. Well, he's there. He's one of the poker guests, and so you could see him sneaking up behind the guard. I got really excited, and I was like, okay, they've sold me. I love this, because everything was a surprise, and I love being surprised in games, not in real life, in games. So he knocks out the guard, and I'm not giving spoilers away, I promise. What I'm telling you is a infinitesimal speck compared to the actual storyline. He knocks the guards out, he lets you free, and he's like, so, you don't have... Oh, you are naked, actually. I was wrong. You are naked.
Yeah, because it happens in the movie.
Black. Yeah, it does. You're exactly right. You are in black shorts. And Agent Smith says, you don't have any clothes on. And I'm like, give me your clothes. So he gives me his clothes with his little USA bow tie. And he's back in his USA boxer shorts. And we go back to the table. And he's at the table nude.
Brilliant.
I love it. But I won't go on. I won't spoil the rest of it.
No, please don't.
But just know that little piece right there has sold me on the James Bond game coming out.
We might be talking about the James Bond game later on anyway, so...
I still think it's a stupid name, and I don't like the way James Bond looks.
No, we will get to that. We'll get to that. Any more? What else?
I did a couple of demos from Steam Next Fest, but I'm not naming all of them. I'm just going to name the 2 that I liked.
Of course.
Which was, unless Nana remembers some that stood out. There's one called Giggle Land / Terry's Vegetable Patch. It is a kind of, it has the same atmospheric feeling of FNAF, but it's not that kind of game. You are walking around solving riddles and puzzles and stuff.
In a vegetable patch, I guess.
It's like a children's museum about farms.
Mm.
Oh.
And it was interesting enough that I'm like, if the price is right, I will play this because it was well put together. And I just really like I've always said this on the show. I like the kind of weird, like cute things right next to scary things for some reason. Mm-hmm. I just like the juxtaposition, as they say.
Fair enough.
And then, but we played one that I really enjoyed. And that is called Davy Jones. It is not there yet. It still needs a little bit of polish, but it was still quite far advanced. You are, Davy Jones the pirate, but he's in 2 pieces. He's a head and he's a body. And you're a body and his head, which is the skeleton with the octopus tentacle in it. I don't really get that, but okay. Anyway, you're going wrong.
Because that's what Davy Jones is.
I guess so. He's very sarcastic, funny. You use him as a weapon. The boss fight was good. The cannon fodder, like the little soldiers, the pirates that come out, they need a little bit more polish, I think.
Yeah.
And then get kind of monotonous and samey. But the aesthetics were on point. Love the way it looked. Love the style. It could use a little bit of work of seeming like you're under the ocean a little bit more. But that's so minor. Mm-hmm. But the gameplay is there. The story's there. The boss fights are good. There's 2 boss fights in there. So fingers crossed that's going to be a winner because I really like that one. It's called Davy Jones. It's on the Steam Next Fest right now. So go check it out.
Okay. Well, Steam Next Fest only finishes...
it finished
today.
Today.
Today as this episode comes out is what I meant.
Yeah, okay, yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember that this is a podcast.
Yeah, I know, I forget.
Yeah.
But go wish list it. Anyway, that's all my interesting news.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna drink more and turn this over to Pete, who's gonna introduce what our show is about today. It is jam-packed.
Yes.
I wonder what jam-packed means.
It is jam-packed because we're talking about the season of announcements or Faux
E3
or whatever
E3.
you call it nowadays.
Used to be 3. E3.
Oh,
Used to be 3.
Well, we're not going to call it Summer Game Fest. That was just one showcase. Because I'm not letting Jeff take control of the whole thing.
Yes.
But yeah, we've had a couple of showcases, Summer Game Fest being one, a PlayStation showcase, and the Xbox showcase with Outer Worlds Direct.
And Konami had one too.
I'm not talking about Konami's one, even though apparently it was quite good. But we can round that one. We can round that one up. There was a couple of things.
Do we get to talk about Mind's Eye? Because I could spend about half an hour talking about Mind's Eye.
Oh, it's almost like 2 weeks ago you didn't want to talk about Mind's Eye, but now you do.
Yeah, I know, because I didn't form an opinion yet.
Let's not talk about it because that might come up in the news next week. Possibly.
Okay. Probably will.
But yeah, the Konami showcase, I think they showed more of Metal Gear Solid Delta, where they showed off the Fox Hunt online mode. Snake vs. Monkey and Snake vs. Bomberman for the Xbox.
Yep.
They showed off more about Silent Hill F, but we'll talk about Silent Hill F soon.
Yeah.
And I can't remember there was a few other mobile games and stuff like that, but the main one that they announced was Silent Hill 1 is getting a remake from Blooper Team.
Yep.
Yeah, which I think is a good one. And yes, exactly, Steven.
Yeah, but considering that everyone was like, oh, Blooper Team are making Silent Hill 2 remake, why? And then it came out and was like, oh, Blooper Team could make a good game. All right, then. Now they're on Silent Hill 1.
Yeah.
But it seems a bit weird that they did Silent Hill 2 and now they're going back to Silent Hill 1. It's like, shouldn't they have done it the other way around? But I guess Silent Hill 2 is the more popular game out of the two.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
So we won't talk much about Konami other than that. But yeah, from what I heard, was a good showcase, actually. But I haven't watched it. But we're just going to talk about the main 3 that happened within the week. Just for parity's sake, we are not talking about the Outer Worlds 2 Direct and Grounded 2 because I didn't watch it. We're only going to talk about the main Xbox showcase when we do discuss it. So I think the way that we're going to do this is I'm going to run through the list of announcements because otherwise we're going to go long if we talk about everything. And we'll point out a few. I'll basically say everything that was announced, and then we can talk about select few games that we thought were either good or some that we thought were like, why, basically. Obviously, when it comes to Summer Game Fest, I will just point out we all did a live react to it. It was late in the evening.
Yes.
We were all quite tired, but it's up on the YouTube channel. Please go and check it out. But we probably all have other thoughts from the fact that it was over a week ago now, so time to digest on it. So anyway, let's get into it because we're going to start off with the PlayStation State of Play that aired on the Wednesday evening, which was the 4th, I think. 4th of June, which I'll be honest, I watched half of this before the Switch 2 launch and half of this on the way home from getting the Switch 2, so it was a little bit weird. So they started to show off with Lumines Arise. So this is a sequel to Lumines, and this is made by the people who made Tetris Effect. Very similar sort of aesthetic to Tetris Effect. Next up was Capcom's game that they revealed at the original showing for the PlayStation 5, Pragmata. It's what appears to be a sci-fi shooter with some third-person sci-fi action game with some unusual mechanics, but we can get into that a little bit more. They showed off more about the actual setting of the game. Your companion character known as Diane, who is an AI. Yeah. And I'm probably going to get into it a lot more soon. Next up was the game that everyone has described as the most Suda 51 game, Romeo is a Dead Man. Which is due to come out in 2026. Sorry, Pragmata was 2026, and Lumines Arise is coming in fall. Next up, Silent Hill F. So they had a bit of a showcase for this one. Obviously, it was shown more on the Konami Direct. It's in a village in Japan, so it's the first time it's not actually been set in the Silent Hill area, but looks creepy as all hell, which is good. It's September 25th for this one. Next up was a sequel to Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Bloodstained the Scarlet Engagement side-scrolling 2D Metroidvania, which is due to come out in 2026.
I'm excited for this one mainly just because I'm glad that they're moving away from Symphony of the Night for now. And
Yeah.
it's interesting too because it seems to be like a version of like the DS games where you have the co-op in there.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
yes. Yes.
I can't remember what the DS games were. There was a few of them, wasn't there? But I don't ever remember
There
what the
was.
Castlevania games were called. I
Hmm.
always
There's
want to say Rondo
PSP
of Blood,
one,
but
too.
that was like an old Japanese version of one of the games, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Next up was Digimon Storytime Stranger. So, gameplay trailer for this. It's due out on the 3rd of November. Next up was a game that was well known about because of the GeForce Now leaks. Thank you very much. Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles. It's due out on PS4 and PS5 and other platforms 30th of September. Main draw is fully remastered, but you can scroll between the original soundtracks and the original visual style as well.
I'm wondering now when do we see like FF9 remake? Because that's like the last thing there.
We will get to
I'm
that
sure.
probably soon because, well, I think that's probably coming next time. No, possibly next year because that was also involved in the GeForce Now leaks.
Mm-hmm.
So, next was a game
Yeah.
called Baby Steps, an exploration game where you control your leg movements as you climb a mountain.
Yes.
Let's not discuss
Kylie,
this,
do you
Jesus.
just quickly,
Yeah.
Kylie, remember the Bennett Foddy game I was telling you about? This is by the
Yes.
same person.
Oh, is okay. I wondered. I
Yeah.
wondered. Okay, yeah.
Uh,
So I might have to do both of them one night.
Yeah.
They'll last about 5 minutes each.
Yeah, 8th of September for this one. Next up was a game called Hiragami. It's a game that allows you to transform into a variety of creatures through the power of folding. I'm going to be honest, I didn't see much about this one because late at night. 3rd of September for this one. Next up was Everybody's Golf's Hot Shots, so another showing of this one. Coming out on the 5th of September, so it's PS5, PS4, and Switch 2, I believe. I think maybe an Xbox version. They also showed that Pac-Man is a playable character in this too,
Yeah.
because Bandai
Very
Namco,
cool.
thank you.
Yeah.
But this looks really good. I'll talk more about this as well because I'm really excited. Everybody's Golf is a brilliant
Same here,
game, and
yeah.
Hot Shots just looks like a really good addition to the series. Next up, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. So this is the 2D retro throwback of the side-scrolling Ninja Gaiden games. It's due to come out on the 21st of July, so only another month to go. Not too bad. Next up was Climbing Simulator Cairn. So this is coming out on the 5th of November, but there is a demo currently available for it on PS5 if you want to go and check it out. This one was quite interesting, and also they're probably going to cover something else in a minute, but they actually haven't got it on the article here, which is a bit annoying, because this started off two particular things that had something to do with one another, let's say. It sandwiched between these, which is really annoying that I haven't discussed this. PlayStation are making their own official arcade sticks. A wireless arcade stick, and it looks incredible.
Yeah.
I'm
makes
quite
sense,
annoyed.
actually.
I'm quite annoyed now because I might need to go and buy another arcade stick. If it has function with PC as well, great. I might be interested. But yeah, it's only a teaser. They haven't announced many more details about it. But this is gonna probably bookend some of the stuff because the next game that was revealed is it's Digital Eclipse that are working on this alongside NetherRealm Studios. That will tell you everything. It's Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
Legacy Collection.
Yeah.
So this is a collection of 1, 2, 3, Ultimate 3, and 4.
Yeah.
Chat just heard a bunch of things because I just smashed a bunch of buttons on my stream
Of
deck.
course you did.
Oh,
Amazing.
gosh.
Christ
Making sure
almighty.
you're awake, chat.
Amazing. So yeah, this is due to come out at some point in 2025, and what was picked up at the time, I actually didn't pick up on it, was Ed Boon and other creator, I can't remember his name, were actually in the same room for the first time for many, many years together.
Right. Very
And then John Tobias.
That's the one, yeah. Yes. Next up, we had a bit more of a showing for Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. So this is where they initially teased the online mode. So everyone thought this was going to be the return of MGO, but it's not quite the same as what everyone really wanted. But the game's still looking unbelievably incredible. Funnily enough, I did hear this on a podcast the other day, that someone didn't think this looked like a next-gen game. And I'm going to strongly disagree and say, unfortunately, as much as I love that podcast, that man is a complete idiot. Because this game looks unbelievably good for a UE5 game.
Yeah.
Alright, anyway.
I mean, they always look good, but yeah.
Yeah, but they usually run like butt, so we'll see whether or not that's the case. But yeah, August for Delta. Next up was Neo 3, so this is a sequel to the Neo 2 to Neo 2. It's Ninja Theory, not Ninja Theory. It's
Tecmo and Team Ninja.
That Team Ninja, that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, silly me. Anyway, there is a demo currently available for it if you want to go and try it out, and they're taking feedback on the demo as well. So please let them know. But this is due out in 2026. This is a series I haven't thought about in many, many years. Thief is getting a VR game called Legacy of Shadow.
That would be very cool in VR.
Actually look kind of cool, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Coming to PSVR 2 in 2025. Next up was Tides of Tomorrow, a bright first-person action game set in a flooded dystopian world, coming in February 2026. This one sort of lost me, if I'm honest, because one in the morning. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's a new update coming for Astrobot, so 5 new worlds that are coming. Ooh. And also they've teased the return of the Astrobot DualSense controller, but the DualSense controller is not going to be the same. There might be a minor difference. So, can't remember when they said that the new levels were coming. That's due soon, I think. Next up was Sea of Remnants. Don't know much about this, to be honest. It looked a bit weird to me, but anyway. 2026 for this one. Sword of the Sea. This is the next game from those who did Journey and that studio, basically. This actually looks really interesting for, quote, a walking simulator, as they call it. You're basically surfing on a sword throughout the various different terrains, and graphically it looks very impressive. But then again, Journey also looked very impressive on the PS3.
Say, yes.
19th of August, so not much longer to wait, and it will be available on the PS Plus collection as well. FBC Firebreak, so this is Remedy Studios game that's a PvE game that's set in the Control universe, coming to the game catalogue on 17th of June, so actually in a couple of days. Which is great. Please, no, thank you. So there's new PS Plus games coming this summer. So on June 17th, you've got the original Deus Ex coming. Twisted Metal 3 and 4 are coming on July 15th. Yay! Resident Evil 2 and 3 coming in the summer. And Myst and Riven are coming later in the month as part of Days of Play.
I love Myst and Riven. I'm so old. I played those when they came out. That's how old I am.
Yes.
I loved them.
Next up was, and Kiley, yes, we get to talk about it now, 007 First Light. IOI's next game that they've been teasing for many years.
Yeah, I kind of was losing hope and faith and everything.
Yep.
Until we played the Le Chevre.
Le Chiffre.
I can't say it.
Le Chiffre.
That.
Or Le Chiffre.
Mads Mikkelsen.
When you got to play Mad Simulator.
Yes. They actually had a Hannibal joke in there too, which I really appreciated.
That's really good.
Yeah. But yeah, if that was a little taste, no pun intended, and I think it was, of what's to come, I'm on board with this so hard. I can't wait.
So basically what they showed is they showed cinematics, general idea of story, a tiny glimpse of gameplay, not really too much, but they're going to have a bit more of a deep dive of it.
Yeah.
But they obviously showed that this is, as name first implies, James's first mission, or his first set of missions as a 00 agent, fresh out of the Navy as a young 23-year-old.
He looks it too.
Yes, they haven't revealed who the actor is that is doing the motion capture or the voice work.
It looks like Spider-Man.
What, Yuri Lowenthal?
Actor. No, everyone says that. Who is?
Tom Holland.
Voice in something. Yes, Tom Holland.
I don't think it does at all.
I don't like it. Looks like Tom Holland and Tom Cruise had a very distorted love child.
Okay, I actually like the look of the character. To be fair, I think it's cool, but obviously, James Bond in the novels is a blonde man, and this is a brunette.
Yes, James Bond in the novel has never really been accurately portrayed. If I'm honest.
I mean, for Christ's sakes, they started it off badly by having a Scottish man.
But I love it.
Sean Connery is amazing as Bond, don't get me wrong, but...
the Sean Connery years.
Yeah, they had Pierce Brosnan.
My favorite.
And
Pierce Brosnan, I like those.
To be fair, Daniel Craig's the closest one they've had with the blonde.
To be fair, you are right about that. You're very right about that.
And don't get me wrong, look, Casino Royale is an incredible movie. Like, it's the best of his series. And it's probably one of the best Bond films out there.
Yeah. So, I will agree with that. that.
Yeah,
everything, Solis and all that other stuff.
Quantum of Solace. Quantum of Boredom.
No.
But yeah, I think this is incredible. I think this looks amazing. And whilst it's not a lot of gameplay, I at least turned around and went, I don't care, there's not that much gameplay. This looks amazing.
I'm going to get it first day.
Yeah. For a first showing of First Light, they got my eyes on it at least. Yeah, it is a bit.
They needed a way more sexy. It should have been a way more sexier name. Like, come on, lean into the novels. The novels are campy and cheesy, just like the movies. I love it.
I mean, even if they would have called it, like, as stupid as it was, 007 License to Kill, I would have been happy.
Yeah. Something dumb like that. I'm so on board with that. They needed something
utterly ridiculous for the name. First Light just sounds too generic to me.
It's very generic. Look, Bond is the quintessential British person. It needs to be, like, the puns need to be happening, and sardonic, sarcastic humor, and just that level of mod 60s sexiness. Oh, I love it.
It does sound like it's going to have it, because the small interactions that you have with Q just sound really good. Like the testing of the gadgets as well. Yeah, I'm on board. I'm so on board.
I am. Yep.
Right, 2026 for that, but we'll get more of a deep dive of the gameplay at some point in the future. Next up was the strangest thing that PlayStation decided to do was to give you the smallest and most ridiculous tease of Ghost of Yotei, their only first-party title that was revealed, and told us, we're getting a deep dive in July. What was the point of showing this? This was ridiculous.
It's a time filler is all it was.
However, I've got a feeling that me and Nana might talk about this one at length. My goodness. Ooh. Because the final game that they announced was a partnership between PlayStation, Marvel Games, and Arc Systems work for a 4v4 tag fighter called Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Jeez. This come out of left field. I wasn't expecting this. But to be fair, they did a good 5 minutes on this as well. And let's just say, I'm just going to put it now, this is how you do just one more thing. That's it. Xbox take note. Jeez. I'm not even a big Arc Systems Works fan. Like, I think they do some incredible stuff with fighting games like Dragon Ball Fighters. The BlazBlue series is like a ridiculous series, but it is like an incredibly fun series to play. Like, Continuum Shift and Calamity Trigger were like really great introductions to the series. Sort of fell off with them after that because of Central Fiction, but I didn't really pick up. But they've done some really, really decently well-regarded fighting games, and they're more on the technical side. So there's a sort of like a mix between the simplicity of Street Fighter, like control method, but the complexity of like an SNK fighter.
Yeah.
They are very technical. They love an anime fighter, and this is very much an anime fighter at its heart, but with Western characters, which is a bit strange. But I think I really love the art style of it.
It looks really good, yes. Pete, I'll ask this question. What do you think like happens to Marvel versus Capcom from here?
It
Because I did see a lot of people wondering for if
uh,
that wasn't gonna happen.
I'm afraid to say that I think Marvel vs. Capcom is dead now, and I think Infinite killed it.
Yeah, no, I that was my assumption, honestly. I didn't even realize.
Right?
But yeah.
It's such a shame because I love Marvel vs. Capcom, but if
Mm-hmm.
Infinite completely killed the series, and if they felt like they needed to go in a completely different direction, then fine. I'll be interested to see what they do with this completely, but there's still a small hope that something MVC could come out because Marvel games seem to be letting their characters out a little bit more because of obviously Marvel Rivals, this, and a few other
Hmm.
games that are out there.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure that there's room to have this as a competitive fighter alongside Marvel vs. Capcom 4 as well. So I think this
We'll
one
see
takes the
though.
mantle.
Yeah, but we'll see though, because it's like Arc Sys games, like they prove like popular at Evo and stuff. So
There's
I
always an
think this will
ox.
be decent.
Every Evo, no matter what Evo is, whether it's Evo Japan, Evo America, or the upcoming Evo like Europe, there is always an Arc System work game there. And yeah, I could see this one
Mhm.
being one of the main billings in 2026 when it comes out. I wouldn't even be
Yeah.
surprised that at Evo Japan next year they have a big showcase for it.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
Right, that's the good thing that Arc Systems always do is they're very much in tune with the community and the FGC. So
Hmm.
this will make its rounds. So I'm interested because obviously you're more of an anime person than I am. What did you think of the character design and general aesthetic?
It looked really good, honestly. Like, if you're going to do Marvel and try and like turn it into like an anime sort of style, I'd say this is the way to do it, honestly.
I agree.
And I think there was like some interesting takes on characters. Like we had the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider,
Yep.
Doom, who apparently just uses a gun in there.
I mean, he's
Uh,
always had like a laser gun, but
yeah,
not quite to the level that he did in this game.
yeah, yeah. I really love the Captain America design in this, though.
I
Like, I think that's how you
yeah,
do it. Like,
it was the one I was most surprised about that I didn't think I was going to like, but I keep looking at the image of it and I go, they've absolutely nailed a certain art style
mhm.
with him, and I think Iron Man like looking like an actual Gundam looks freaking
Yeah.
incredible.
Hmm.
I there are some issues that I kind of have with some of the roster as well. Um, the only concern I have is I really do not like Kamala Khan as a character, and she keeps turning up in everything.
That's fair. That's fair.
She's such a boring character. I
Well,
it's
it's because the character is boring.
I know, but it's
Like,
like Marvel like really can't let go of the fact that her
I
comic has
know.
failed on numerous occasions. It's
Get
just like
better writers.
yeah, I don't think that works. But yeah, so far the characters revealed. So they revealed 8 characters, didn't they? So it was Captain America, Spider Man, Doctor Doom, Ghost Rider, Storm, Kamala Khan, Iron Man. Can't remember the other one. Rocket, was it Rocket?
No, it was
No,
Star Lord.
No.
Star Lord. That's the one. Yeah, Rocket's coming in a different game.
Yes.
Yeah, Star Lord is the character that should have appeared in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. So I'm kind of glad that he's got his showing in this. So, yeah, 2026 for that one. But yeah, Jesus, 4v4 fighter.
Yeah.
I also did like the fact that they turned around and said, well, you're not going to have to learn all 4 characters. Basically, you can learn one character, and they're your point character, and all 3 are like assist characters to some degree. So I wonder how that's going to work, but it will be interesting if those people are like, yeah, I'm going to learn all 4 characters and how good they're going to get. Ugh. Right, so yeah, that's the PlayStation State of Play, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is probably one of the better ones for a very long time, actually.
Yeah, this was the first
Yeah.
really good one for me.
Hmm. It was surprising that I actually had some really good announcements in this one,
I was
but
gonna say.
it's got a distinctive, unfortunate lack of PlayStation properties, though.
Yeah, I do wonder because I expected to see like Sorrow Stay, the Housemarque game. Like I was
Um,
wondering where that was.
I think that's a little bit further off than we think. I think that's probably a late 2026 game if it's coming.
Yeah, I thought it was February because they revealed it like in February.
Yeah. I think late. It's going to be late next year, so they'll probably gear up like next year. They'll be
Hmm.
like, right, this is all that's coming. Cause we'll discuss that anyway, probably with the Xbox showcase as well.
Hmm.
So, right. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to absolutely streamline through a lot of this because Summer Game Fest,
Yeah.
the Jeff Keighley event, because there was a lot shown. It was 2 hours long, and some of this was okay. Some of this maybe not. So
Yeah.
same again. If there's anything in particular we want to talk about in major ways, just go. I want to talk about this one, and we'll crack on. Okay. So first was shown Mortal Shell 2. So this is a Souls-like sequel to Mortal Shell. It's due out 2026. PS5, PC, and Xbox Series consoles. Next up, we had a tiny little thing from... I say tiny. We had a Jeff Keighley suckling the balls of Hideo Kojima because this is a Summer Game Fest.
Uh-huh.
We got a small glimpse of two new characters that are coming to Death Stranding 2, Neil and Lucy, and their actors who are playing them. I can't remember who they are. Game releases it on the 24th of June anyway, so there's going to be more. I think there was another showcase coming at some point as well.
Yeah.
Next up, we had Chronicles Medieval. I thought it was Medieval Chronicles, but yeah, it's Chronicles Medieval. This is the one where it looked really nice pre-rendered, and then it went to the in-game footage, and we're like, ugh!
Uh-huh.
This does not look nice.
He has spoiled everything for me now. Now I have to know what
Mm-hmm.
gameplay is and in-game footage.
And then you looked at it and went, oh. Because you were like, this looks quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Oh, yeah. So that's dropping in early access in 2026. Didn't reveal which consoles or platforms it was coming to. Next up, I suspect that we're going to probably talk about this one a little bit. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds showed off a massive trailer showcase for this one. Also took shots at Nintendo for saying that this is going to be fully cross-play across all platforms, which I thought was a little unfair because Nintendo is only available on one console and that's it. Oh, Mario Kart, can't really do cross-play, can you?
Yeah.
Seemed a bit stupid. But they also introduced that there are several guest characters coming to the game, including Hatsune Miku, Ichiban Kasuga, and Persona's Joker, which makes Ichiban makes complete sense because 1, Sega, 2, Dragon Kart. No more needs to be said.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also revealed that Sonic Cross Worlds is also getting Minecraft World included with it as well. So Steve is a playable character along with a minecart as an actual cart, which looks absolutely stupid drifting around corners. I think this looks incredible. This is an absolute day one purchase for me, and that's not because Ichiban is in the game. This looked incredible anyway.
Yeah, it does look really good, honestly. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I really like the really like the Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing series. The first one in particular was a really, really good alternative to the Mario Kart series. Transformed was gameplay-wise a very tight kart racer, but I didn't like his track design and the fact that it was very mixed for me. So between the air, the sea, and the land, like you could get very lost in where you went with that, and I didn't like the general aesthetic of that. So and I think we played Sonic Racing. I think I played a Sonic Racing game at at a showcase once. I think it was EGX a couple of years ago, and when there was one out, it played really nicely, but I just never picked it up. So I'll be interested to see what this one's like. So
I have experience with all three of them, so it's like I think this is going a bit more back to what Transformed was without that, but yeah, it does look cool.
Yep. So this is coming out September 25th for PS5, PS4, Xbox, PC, and probably Switch as well. So next up was Code Vein 2. This was a game that you called straight away. Now you went, oh, Code Vein, awesome.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, coming in 2026. So yeah, PS5, PS4, no, PS5, Xbox, and PC. So yeah, it was mostly cinematic, but with some early gameplay showing as well. Next up was End of Abyss. So this is for Section 9 and Epic Games. It's due out on the Epic Games Store in 2026, as well as PS5 and Xbox Series. Now that it's been added to... what do they call it? I can't even remember what they call it. Public domain, that's it. Mouse PI for hire.
Yes.
Yep.
This is the Steamboat Willie version.
That's crazy.
And they announced that Troy Baker is going to be Jack Pepper. Because Troy Baker's in everything.
Mm-hmm.
But this actually looks really fun.
It does, actually, yeah.
So, yeah. I'm interested. I'll have a look. It's due out later this year on PC, as well on Steam, as well as Switch and current and last gen consoles. Next up, annoyingly, thanks Warner Brothers, you absolute scum suckers. This is the video that got us copyright struck. Thank you.
Oh boy.
Cheers. I've appealed it. Screw you. Game of Thrones War for Westeros. So mostly all cinematics because they didn't show any gameplay for it. But this is an RTS, and this turned me off immediately because one, Game of Thrones, two, RTS. No thanks.
No.
Next up was Atomic Heart 2. So it's the sequel to the retro futuristic universe. It's due out PC and consoles. Not sure when it's coming, but this isn't the only thing that Mundfish showed, because they've got an MMO RPG shooter set in the Atomic Heart universe called The Cube, which is due out no release window, but I don't think they showed much gameplay to it, but I think the concept is cool. So, fine. Okay, next, the game that I'm probably going to talk about at length a little bit. Marvel Cosmic Invasion. This is the 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up game that's basically like a retro arcade game. They revealed 2 new characters to the game, including Rocket Raccoon and comic-accurate She-Hulk.
Yes.
And, the one thing that I will definitely say, and definitely said it at the time, is it's funny how much they've lifted from Marvel vs. Capcom. They've pretty much taken quite a lot of the actual frame data from it and the movesets and the animations. I have no issue with it because the game looks brilliant. And this is... it's not Tribute, this is .emu that are doing this one. And yeah, there's 7... so there's apparently supposed to be 15 characters coming to this.
Wow.
Damn.
Okay.
So they've only shown 7 of them so far, and yeah, this is an absolute must-buy. So coming to PC and consoles this holiday, as it states. But yeah, massively interested in this one again, and this is another really good showing for it. Next up, Onimusha Way of the Sword. So this is Onimusha 4. Coming in 2026 to PC, PS5, Xbox. It's going to be playable at Gamescom, but the first in the Onimusha series for nearly 20 years, and my god, does it look pretty. It looks very exciting, yes.
Yep. It does, yeah.
Now, I have my issues with the RE engine. I think the RE engine is a very, very good engine when used and utilised well. It doesn't work for open world games because Street Fighter 6 is open world, doesn't work too well for it, and as well as Monster Hunter. Yeah. But when it's in this kind of setting, it's a good engine, and I think this makes it look really nice. So nice that Capcom have actually got their own in-house engine because they never used to do that. So, biggest surprise of the entire show, I would say, for this one. Do you remember Puppets? That's all I'm going to say.
Yes.
So this was Felt That Boxing, a comedic boxing game set in the... Was it Sesame Street, is it?
Muppets?
In the Muppets universe, sorry. And it's it's essentially Muppets Punch-Out. And it's due out at some point this year, I think. Or no release date for Steam. But yeah, this looked utterly ridiculous. So unbelievably stupid.
Yes.
But I am 100% on board with it. This looks so good. Oh my goodness. Anyway, next up was Kill It In. So this is a Square Enix online multiplayer game, which is a social deduction with murderous action. So it's Tactics Studios. It's a 24-player online game where players are split into two teams. I guess one set as killers and one set as people trying to solve the mystery. It looked really interesting until they pulled out guns and people were shooting each other, and it looked really weird. I'm not sure I'm on board with this one personally, but the idea behind it was kind of okay to start. Yeah. Next up was Arc Raiders. So it's first announced at TGA's 2021, and it's got a release date of October 30th this year. So PC, so both Steam and Epic Game Stores, as well as PS5 and Series. It's an online shooter.
I like what Steven says. If you're having Muppet fights, I'm backing Animal.
Yeah, I think I probably would be as well.
Yeah.
Next up was Dune Awakening. So this is the MMO set on Arrakis, which is absolutely ridiculous because we're going to move around Arrakis, and we're going to make all this noise and build loads of bases and not a sandworm in sight.
We're going to make a lot of racket on Arrakis.
If I hadn't already named the episode, I would actually have named it that. Good God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yes.
But yeah, it doesn't make sense with the base building. As much as I love base building, it doesn't fit the lore. It doesn't.
No, not at all. It's also actually an early release now. It's out.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Next up, Chrono Odyssey. So this is a next generation action MMORPG powered by UE5 because they made a big deal about being on UE5 constantly for everything. PC and PS5 doesn't say when it's coming. Also, a very surprising game. I'm not sure I was on board with this one. Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny.
Oh, yes. I'm very excited
That looked
about
cute, at least.
It had a nice visual style to it, but it is a real-time RPG. September 30th for this one. Steam and Epic Game Stores, PS5, Switch, and Xbox Series.
Also, Brent says, I don't know, if Beaker can blow himself up, surely he could do it to another puppet.
It's very possible, yeah.
I like that, yeah.
Next up was Wuthering Waves 2.4, so this I don't know, never heard of it. June 12th, so it's already out, so Windows, Steam, Epic Game Store, mobile, PS5. Brent has redeemed, so please redeem.
What did he redeem? I can't see it.
Glass of wine.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yes.
So next up was Mio Memories in Orbit. So this is a Metroidvania, and as soon as they mentioned Metroidvania, I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Nothing against Metroidvanias. I just don't like them. Well, not my thing.
Yeah.
So there's a demo out on Steam at the moment, and PC Xbox. Sorry. Due out in 2025. So quite a few different consoles as well. Next up was a co-op action. I say a co-op game, a co-op building game called Lego Voyagers. And this looked unbelievably good. So very much in the same of It Takes Two and Split Fiction, but actually you play as two Lego blocks, and you have to
like
build your way
realistic
across.
Lego.
Yeah, you have to build your way across the worlds together. PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC. It says releasing soon, so who knows when. Mafia: The Old Country had not a lick of gameplay set anywhere. It was just a cinematic trailer, which is quite surprising when the game comes out in August. It's like, we should probably start seeing gameplay of this game now.
Yeah.
And it was
I
mentioned.
wasn't really sold on it.
No, it was mentioned before that someone said, it was a podcast or something I was listening to, where they went, Mafia 3 was kind of, so maybe we should actually see what the game was like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're a bit worried about this one anyway. Next one is Out of Words. So this is a stop-motion co-op platformer where everything has been crafted by hand. This looked unusual, but visually striking, at least. And it's another co-op game as well, which is quite cool. So it's coming to PC via Epic Games Store on PS5 and Series X Series consoles in 2026. The Lies of P Overture DLC is currently out right now, so it got shadow dropped right there and then. So if you like your Soulsborns and especially Lies of P, there's more Lies of P to play. Great.
Yeah. Brent says, I like Builder's Journey, so I'm excited for the new Lego game. It does look good. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up was Fractured Blooms. This is, just read it as is from the Eurogamer article. Tend your gardens, cook your meals, and build your home in this time loop life sim. Tend your garden. The days are repeating, and something has to start to bloom. Sadly, we've no more detail than that, other than a very curious teaser trailer, but it certainly got us intrigued. This was the weird one where you think they're growing humans.
Yes.
This does look quite striking, actually.
It's definitely got my attention. I will say that.
I would probably say so. It looked like a you kind of game to play on stream.
Yeah. If it turns out to be a wacky kind of
this is a weird Wednesday.
Switcheroo. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So. Next up, Crystal of Atlan. So this is I don't know what this is, but they're getting a collaboration with One Punch Man. Which is currently running from June 26th to July 26th. And this is the game where Nana was like, oh, it's One Punch Man. Ugh.
Yeah.
Next up, Jurassic World Evolution 3. Okay, Jurassic Evolution 3. Let's move on. We don't need to know more about
I'm
that.
happy for it.
Yeah, fine. Okay, Seven Deadly Sins Origins. So an open world anime RPG set in the universe of Seven Deadly Sins. Wasn't this another one where you were just like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is due out later this year for PC via Steam and PS5. Next up was Yacht Club Games' new reveal, a new game, Mina the Hollower. So this looks like very much like a GBA style game, whereas the other one was like an 8-bit style game. Kind of similar, like action adventure sort of games, like Legend of Zelda, like not Wind Waker, Minish Cap and stuff like that. So there's a demo currently out on Steam at the moment during Steam Next Fest, and it's due out on 31st of October. Kiley, I'll let you talk for a little while because I'm going to say nothing. Deadpool VR coming out in late 2025 for MetaQuest 3.
Yes. So when that dropped and we watched it, go check it out. It's our live react. I didn't know what to think because, I mean, it was obviously not Ryan Reynolds, and I'm sorry, but who could do it but Ryan Reynolds? It's actually Neil Patrick Harris of all people.
It is.
Yep.
Which, for those who are not American, is Doogie Howser.
Did you see that Ryan Reynolds put the video up on his YouTube channel? I actually did find that kind of funny.
It was hilarious. It was when I saw the reaction channel or the reaction video that I was like, okay, this has, Ryan Reynolds' approval, because of course it does. Ryan Reynolds was pretending to be Doogie Howser, and I didn't realize that his sister-in-law was the girlfriend of Doogie Howser in the show, so it's very crazy and it's hilarious.
It's very meta.
It's
Yeah.
very meta, very. I struggle with VR. I've said this a million times. I have a wonky eye. I can't play VR very long. I get very nauseous. Sometimes I can't even see the 3D effects. Depends on who's the developer and stuff. And I'm sitting here. I've got an Oculus right now that I want to play Hitman on. That I need to hook up. If I hook that up and it works and I don't vomit everywhere in the first 10 minutes, oh yes, I'll be getting Deadpool VR.
Well, I'm afraid to say it's only the MetaQuest 3, so it won't be...
Dang
yeah,
it.
you have to get a new
I won't
one.
be getting it yet.
No.
I bet it will come out on the Oculus, but if it doesn't, fine. If I can play this and not vomit, then maybe I'll get a MetaQuest.
Fair enough.
I probably won't though, because I don't like that you have to like put your credentials in. I'm not all into that.
Nope, I
but
agree.
it looked very good, and I love that Jeff Keighley was wearing yellow sneakers that matched the presentation for Deadpool, and it was very cute, and I loved it. And that is my report on Deadpool VR. I love it, and I can't wait.
Next up was Dying Like the Beast. I don't need to say anything about Deadpool. I've made my opinions very well known. Let's move on. Also, you can see my reaction on the stream. Dying Like the Beast. So this is a new. It's a new game, is it, or is it an upgrade?
It's a new game.
Yeah, it's a new. Yeah, it is a new game set in the universe. Game. Yeah. So Dying Like the Beast revealed all new gameplay, showcasing a variety of different chases and parkour. It's due on PS5, Series, Steam, and Epic Games Store, August 22nd. Mixtape.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how I feel about that one.
Crap.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my opinion on it. This looked... most of the people that I've seen doing reactions to this like, the Mixtape looks really good. I'm like, no, it looks like a pile of dog crap. Anyway.
I want to say what bothers me about it is that it's supposed to be about movies. It's supposed to be about music from like the 80s or whatever.
Yep.
Or music from the past. The artists that they have span so many decades that I'm confused as to...
They probably just got whatever was cheap.
It has to be that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm old. I lived through that. Those artists are nowhere even remotely close to each other.
Nope.
So I don't know about that. We'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah. So developer of the Artful Escape. I think it's about skateboards, romance, and an iconic soundtrack, as they called it. I don't call that iconic. Series X and S, PlayStation, PC, Windows, and Steam in 2025. Next up, Tower and the Guardian of the Sacred Tree. I do
like what Steven says.
Steven
says, I would have loved a Lego game when I was little, but the technology was not yet up to it.
That is very true.
Remember wishing for things like that. And then Brent says, Mixtape will be on Game Pass, so I will give it a try regardless. Now, see, that's a good point.
That is a good point.
I'm not sure I will even bother, to be honest. Anyway, next up, Tower and the Guardian of the Sacred Tree. Nice art style to it, but obviously I heard the one thing I didn't want to hear. Roguelite. That put me off immediately.
Oh, that's right.
That's fine, whatever. If that's your thing, then cool. 19th of September for PC. I have to say PC via Steam because of Epic Game Stores now.
Yep.
PS5, Switch, and Xbox Series. This one was particularly surprising. Axe of Blood. Third-person beat-em-up, which focuses on fast-paced, brutal, hand-to-hand combat. Set in a dystopian city of Bandung, Indonesia. This is the one where they said it was a solo developer. And then had 7 other developers working on it.
Oh, that's right,
yeah. So this is coming summer of 2026, and I actually thought it was a really good gameplay showing for it. It looked brutal. It looked interesting. It looked a bit more defined than Sifu did, but Sifu was a very incredible game and with a very unique mechanic. Yeah. But I think this looks very cool as well.
Yeah.
The next one, I'm pretty sure woke my wife up when I reacted to this one. Apologies. They teased this one, and I can't believe, I am really annoyed at myself that I didn't see this as soon as I saw Toronto, and I was like, how did I not get this straight away? But hey, I'm not going to complain. Scott Pilgrim EX got announced, and this is from Tribute Games, who actually, interesting enough, I didn't know at the time, were part of the Ubisoft team that did make the original Scott Pilgrim, who broke off from Ubisoft to create Tribute.
Oh, that's cool.
So good for them, and they've kept hold of that. They've also got input and story details coming from Brian Lee O'Malley, the original comic writer, and the return of Anna Maguchi on the soundtrack. This looks unbelievably awesome. It's a new side-scrolling beat 'em up set across space and time, and in the streets of Toronto. There are 7 playable characters, and apparently, according to it, it might be some of the evil X's might be playable characters.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so 2026 for PC and consoles, and game of the show for me, I'm afraid to say.
What that's predictable, Pete. That's something afraid to say about that.
I like what I like. Side-scrolling beat 'em ups are my thing. I like them.
There you go.
It's good. Anyway, First Descendant Breakthrough Season 3 starting in August 7th. There is a demo coming on 24th of July. Okay. Scum was next.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So June 17th. So Kiley, that might be a weird Wednesday game for you next week.
That's going to be a weird Wednesday. Yeah.
Okay. Here you go, Kiley. You get to talk about it now. Mind's Eye.
Yes! Okay, so I really wanted Mind's Eye to be good. I really did. Isn't IOI the publisher?
They are the publisher.
But they're publisher.
Yes.
So I was like, yeah, and then it had this kind of feel to me of just like the type of games that I like, like Sleeping Dogs, which is the Hong Kong fight.
GTA Hong Kong.
GTA. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. It, to me, had that kind of GTA Sleeping Dogs type thing. Mm-hmm. So I was like, and I didn't want to join in on everyone who was like dissing it, because I was like, I will give it a chance. But then I watched Donkey, and if you know anything, I love Donkey. I love him so much.
I used to like Donkey. I've got no problem with him, but it's just I find his content boring now.
Well, he streams as well.
Okay.
The streams are just normal, so you don't like it's not the flashy Donkey one-liners and crazy goofy stuff. It's just him streaming.
Okay.
And then that led me to watch other people's comments, because I don't like to watch other people's comments on stuff if I haven't formed an opinion myself.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to be influenced. I want it to come organically, But I did watch Donkey play it, and then I was like, you know what? I want to see some other point of views, and I did. It's bad. It's so bad.
Yeah.
It looks good. Like, even I have to admit, visually, it looks good. It looks the business. Ooh. Gameplay is bad. Story's bad.
Well, apparently the story is the only redeemable quality about it at the moment, if you can actually complete it.
I was going to say, it's very hard to follow. Very hard to follow. So a lot of people are thinking it is AI written, possibly.
Okay.
Because the dialogue is so not how humans talk. So, and it just doesn't make narrative sense. Mm-hmm. But the glitches and the gameplay and all of that stuff. And then I was watching one guy, and he said that, and he showed evidence of it, that because it was a sponsored game for a lot of Twitch streamers.
It was,
a whole lot of Twitch streamers. Because it was doing so bad, they cut the servers in the middle of a lot of people's gameplay.
Apparently a lot of people as well were getting like codes and then being told they weren't allowed to show it because they weren't being paid to do it anymore. It was
so bad. Yeah.
It's been an absolute catastrophe.
It is. And I'm disappointed because obviously it's published by IOI.
Yeah, but they didn't make it.
It's published. Fine. I know, exactly. But still, it's kind of like...
Yeah.
when Bethesda has its hand in something, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, of course.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so next up they had the Hitman Cross Mind's Eye crossover that's coming in summer 2025, and there was no more information other than that.
No, that was it. Yeah.
The next thing from IOI was obviously talking about the Lashif World of Assassination mission from Hitman,
excited.
so we won't talk about that anymore.
But go watch my reaction. It was amazing.
Of
I was
course.
excited.
IOI's developing a co-op mode for Hitman World of Assassination.
Which is very cool. Very
it's
cool.
called Stone and Night. So
That's
awesome.
so wild. I don't know how that's going to work, but that's awesome.
Next up, the Not Quite Mario Party Lego Party.
Yes.
Yep.
Which it's Mario Party with Lego. Cool.
Yeah.
Coming to Steam, Switch, PS5 series, and the other last gen consoles. Who knows when. Next up was Wilde, PvP multiplayer shooter. Blends tactical ship-to-ship combat with fast-paced first-person action. Its live beta is currently active right now and is running till the 16th, so until today, as this episode releases. Anyway.
Interesting.
Next up was Blighted. So this is a psychedelic western nightmare from the RPG. It's an action RPG from the creators of Guacamelee. Coming soon to PC
exactly
via
like
Steam. No mention of consoles. Next up, Ill. This made me feel ill because this is gross and creepy.
Yeah, I couldn't follow it.
I think it looks
getting
pretty
ads for it
cool,
now.
but ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's due to... It doesn't say when it's due to release, but PC for Steam. Steam, PS5 and Series consoles. Next up was Mecha Break, which is has confirmed its release date of July 1st for Steam and Xbox Series consoles. Next up was Infinitesimals. However you pronounce it, Jesus Christ, makeup.
Or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, that's clearly one. It was like, we need something that's good for SEO, and that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not going to screw with anything else if you get one. Anyway. 2026 Epic Games Store, PS5 and Xbox Series. What do I say about this one next? Kenny Omega talking and revealing all 4 characters for the next season of Street Fighter 6. Which they revealed was Sagat, Alex, Crimson Viper, and Ingrid. So there is some significance here.
Which you were very happy about.
There's...
I thought you were happy about Ingrid.
No, I'm happy to some degree, but not at the same time. I had a lot of thinking about this one over time. I'm a bit disappointed that Sagat and Alex, who are 2 classic legacy characters, are being relegated to DLC again for the 2nd game in a row. Like, they should have been part of the main roster. Like, paying for DLC, paying for legacy characters feels a bit gross.
I have to agree with you there.
Viper is
as
a
an
character.
outsider.
Yeah, Viper is a character that should have probably returned in 5, and she is an incredibly technical character, and I'm excited to see her come back because I'm interested to see how it's going to work with the drive rush system and how technical she's going to be with jump cancel systems and all that sort of thing. She is a Marvel character in a Street Fighter game. It's basically why she was in Marvel 3.
Okay.
Ingrid, however, is the one that's a little bit like, what the hell? Because it's nice to see her in an actual mainline legacy game, because the only game that she'd previously appeared in terms of... it's not even a canon appearance, was Street Fighter Alpha 3 on the PSP. And she was basically a broken-ass character anyway. But she's also a character that harkens back to a terrible Capcom game called Capcom Fighting Evolution. And it is not very well regarded at all. She's the only original character from that game, and everyone hated her.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. So I'm a little bit sort of like, do we really need her? In terms of the lore, she is the most powerful character in the entire universe. She is essentially a time-hopping god.
Oh
Right.
wow.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one unless it's a major rework of her toolset.
Right. Okay.
But I'm interested to see what her character design is going to look like. I'm not sure what she's going. I'm not sure I'm going to play her, but
Right.
I'm sitting on the fence a little bit on this one at the moment. But yeah, the other three
Yeah.
characters, good additions, but yeah, feel gross to have to pay for those characters.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So
Actually.
yeah, the announcement trailer was cool. Kenny Omega basically cosplaying as all four of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was wild. That was wild. But
Yeah,
I
I
did
knew what they were doing immediately. I was like, yeah, this is probably Street Fighter.
like it.
So, yeah.
That was very good.
Next up was Last Flag, a 5v5 shooter with show-stopping contestants set in a televised competition.
Oh yeah, that was like that's got to be AI created.
Who knows? But
So
anyway,
generic.
it's
It's very
not
generic.
no idea of release date or platforms, but it's available to wishlist at the moment. Next up was Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, so dark fantasy Souls-like, lost me. Xbox, PS5, PC, Steam, and Epic on July 24th. Next was Wu-Tang Rise of the Receiver.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
such a surprise.
It
A happy
was,
surprise.
yeah, a co-op action RPG with anime fighting style.
I
So
love
this
it.
is no release date, but it's coming to PC for Steam and Epic Games still. So yeah, the first Wu-Tang game since Wu-Tang Taste the Pain on PS1. Good God.
Forever, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I mean they did actually appear as fighters in Def Jam games anyway, but
Yes, that's
yeah,
true.
but it's their first original game for many years.
Yes.
Next, Into the Unwell. So it says this is another third-person roguelike game that pays homage to 30s style cartoons.
Oh yeah,
Closed
that's
beta is coming to Steam soon. Next up was Splitgate 2, which why the hell has this absolutely ruined the internet this week?
Oh
No,
yeah.
I know why
People
it has.
love
It is so
Splitgate.
ridiculously stupid that people got angry about that hat.
I mean, I knew it was gonna make people mad.
I know, we even said it at the time. We were just like, what's up with that hat? And then moved on. That was
Uh-huh.
it. All it was. Did you see that, right? So, this set the internet ablaze with that hat because it says make
Yes.
FPS is great again. And it's like,
Which I agree with.
some people on certain political sides were like, that's a callback. That's a throwback to Donald Trump and his presidency. And can't have that. That's disgusting. And the guy walked it back and apologized.
Why? If you do something, don't apologize for it. Unless it was truly heinous. That wasn't anything.
Welcome
Also,
to
yes,
the
please
internet
make
2025. This place is ridiculous and I want out.
Yes.
And yet we're putting a podcast up on the internet.
Ah, it's true.
Cool. So yeah, Splitgate, Halo with portals. Anyway, let's not
Yes.
dwell more
that's
into
what
that
is.
because I don't really care at all. So final two games of the showcase. They actually teased some of it a little bit earlier on. We'll discuss it in a minute. But formerly known as Project Sentry from RGG Studios, the Like a Dragon developers, has now been named Stranger Than Heaven. And this was set in 1940s Japan, which I believe was in Sotobori.
It looks cool. It does visually.
Yeah.
It's another game set within the Like a Dragon universe, but is a side story, sort of like Judgment was. Previously, when this game was announced, it showed it was in 1915, I believe it was, and now it's in 1943.
Yeah.
So I believe the idea of why it was called Project Sentry is it might actually go through the entire century and show different characters from different perspectives in different time zones. So this looked pretty cool. Anyway, it's very much an RGG game, if you know what you're gonna get with it. Story driven, very
Yeah.
action heavy, really good like combat mechanics. So yeah, big plus for me, massively on board. And that's not because I'm a Yakuza fan. Anyway, so they teased this a little bit, kind of. They were like, oh, Resident Evil's got its 30th anniversary, and please wait a little while longer to to see the next game, and then bam, Resident Evil 9 Requiem was the final game shown.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I called it on the stream.
No,
I called it on the stream. I was
say.
like, I guarantee it's the final game here, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, you're gonna have to wait a little while longer. Yeah, maybe about another 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just read it as it was written from Eurogamers. Leaving the best to last, Capcom has lifted the lid on Resident Evil 9, the next entry in the long-standing horror series Requiem. The reveal trailer we meet Grace Ashcroft. I'll get to this one in a minute because this is very interesting information I found out about this one. And sees the ruins of what once was Raccoon City. If you're dying for more, it's got a release date. So 27th of February. So PC for Steam, PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. Which, okay, revealing the game, showing gameplay, and then a date as well. Pretty impressive. You know, they've kept this one under wrapped quite a long time. It has been teased as well because obviously the return of Raccoon City. There is potential that some series veterans could return. I'm not going into that, who might return. But what I was going to say was actually Grace Ashcroft, the main protagonist for this one. So they're moving away from Ethan Winters because, spoiler alert, Ethan's dead.
Yeah, and it's just time.
It's also the fact that Grace is actually the daughter of a character that's I wouldn't say well established in the RE universe, but actually was a playable character in Resident Evil Outbreak.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So they've dipped into the lore a little bit with that one, which I think is quite cool.
Yeah. They have also said that you will be able to switch between first and third person during gameplay.
They have indeed.
I thought that the trailer looked like that.
Yep.
We were like, oh, it looks like third person. No, it looks like first person.
Yeah,
I'm sure
they've
I saw
now
first
confirmed
person.
that it's yeah, definitely
Okay.
100% confirmed. So yeah, I think that's a really good way to take the series because obviously some people really like the third-person action games. Some people really like the atmosphere and the ambience of 7 and 8. I'd say in first person. So I strongly suspect that there'll be a VR mode for this one then.
Oh yeah, probably.
So yeah, 27th of February. Very excited about this one. So yeah, that was Summer Game Fest and okay.
Woo!
I would say first if it's like really good shows for me personally, but I understand for other ones if it's like, yeah, it's okay.
It wasn't the worst showcase. It wasn't completely terrible, and it was one of the very few times that I thought that Jeff wasn't completely insufferable.
Yeah.
Win!
I'd say it wasn't completely insufferable. But there were some good titles shown off here, but I think a lot of it was like, yeah, he's having to cater to a lot of different audiences and a lot of different play tastes, and fair enough. There's a good variety of different kinds of games in there, but I sort of started getting bored of roguelike, Souls-like, and stuff like that, and it was like there was quite heavy on those particular kinds of games. But they had a few good surprises in there at least. So next we're going to try and see if we can shotgun through this one quite quickly. No offense to the Xbox
I'm getting sleepy.
That's what I mean. No offense to the Xbox showcase, but yeah.
I mean, there's something we can take offense to at the end of it, but we'll get to that.
We definitely can. We'll get to that. I've already kind of teased that with the fact that I said this is how you do your one last thing. First up, Outer Worlds 2.
World premiere.
Oh God, don't. That has now become ingrained for the last 4-5 years, and I hate it every single time. Like,
it's true.
The thing is this is the thing that PlayStation did really well. They were like, have a end card, move on to the next game, move on to the next game. No, there was like an end card, and then it was like a world premiere or a, this is on Xbox or Xbox Play Anywhere or anything like that. It's like, oh, how many times do I need to hear it? I don't need to hear it every single time.
Brent says a lot of my friends have been scrambling to play Splitgate 1 because they assume the servers will be shut down soon.
Oh.
I would assume that as well.
Yeah, I would probably assume that.
Yeah.
They're a small studio.
Yeah, but if they were
Very
smart,
small.
they'd leave Splitgate 1 open for a little bit.
I was gonna say if they were smart, they wouldn't have done a Splitgate 2. They don't need a Splitgate 2.
No,
Splitgate
probably
1's
not.
fine.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway, let's
It's like
continue.
Overwatch.
Let's
Anyway.
continue.
Yes.
So the first game that was shown was Outer Worlds 2, which I thought was a little bit strange considering they had Outer Worlds 2 direct straight after this. But I guess it was like, okay, we're gonna bookend it. It was like, well, if you want to see more, here's more. But this was mostly a bit of a gameplay and a story reveal, details, sort of thing. So they're very much leaning into the anti-capitalism angle with this one. Due out on October 29th. Yeah, so it's actually also coming to PS5 as well. So PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PS5.
Okay, I have to also bring this point up. It will be the first $80 game or £80 game by Microsoft.
Yeah, parity across all, so it's $80 or £80. So it's not even like a taxation thing.
I will not be playing that.
Will be on Game Pass.
Yep.
Yes.
So I won't be paying.
Next up, High on Life 2, a game that I never expected to even get a sequel, got a sequel.
I know.
I don't know how this got made too, because I don't even think Justin Roiland is involved.
He is
anymore.
not involved in it anymore.
He's
If you noticed, there was not a single bit of voice acting anywhere in this trailer.
There was not. Yep.
But they're skateboards. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Fine. A game that I never played the first one, but it's due out this winter, and I'm not sure I'm going to play the second one anyway.
Yeah.
I play the first one. I know it's going to make people mad, but I still want to play it.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, if you've already played
still
High
my
on Life,
sense of
then why not?
humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, aesthetically speaking, the first game was intriguing, but it was like, oh, Rick and Morty humor, no thanks. Yeah, I'm out.
But I like that. What is it? I'm based. That's it. No, I'm basic. That's it.
I'm basic. Good. Sorry. I was going to say a very different thing.
I'm
Jesus.
old. Yes. No, I'm basic.
Beast.
Boast. I'm not boast. I'm basic.
Anyway, next up was Resonance: A Plague Tale Legacy. This was particularly surprising because this very much didn't feel like a Plague Tale game, but it's definitely a Plague Tale game. Fair enough. This looks cool, actually.
That was weird.
2026, PS5, Xbox, and PC. Yeah. Next up, the long-rumoured partnership between Asus ROG and Xbox. So the Xbox, the ROG Xbox Ally and the ROG Xbox Ally X, two handhelds that are Windows native experiences with the Xbox dashboard on them. So, these are two different kinds of handhelds. So you've got an AMD Ryzen 7 72 Extreme in the X, 24 gigabytes of memory and 1 terabyte of storage, and the regular has a Ryzen Z2A, 16 gigs of memory and 512 gigabytes of memory, or 500 of storage. Sorry, they're of course terrible. I shouldn't have wrote memory and memory. We don't know the actual price of them yet. We don't know anything else more than that. I think there might have been more information, but I have to say these do look okay. But if it's anything like the ROGs, like the previous ROG Ally and the previous ROG Ally X, oh boy, this is going to cost a pretty penny.
Oh yeah,
I think that Ally X is probably going to cost probably close to £1,000.
Holy crap!
That's going to be expensive.
I'm so tired of shelling out money. That's
honestly,
insane.
I know it's going to be the case, but honestly, if they would have brought these in at $499 and $599, this probably would be more of an appealing sell for quite a lot of people. But I think a lot of people are going to be so priced out of this that this is not going to do well. Which is a shame because I think it looks nice.
It does.
Yeah, it's like the idea is there. It's just the price.
And it's also the fact as well. Windows suffers with bloat like a massive way. Yeah. And I think from a technical aspect, they're actually taking a lot of that away and simplifying it so that it's actually going to be more efficient on the battery. And I like the idea of having a dedicated OS for this that's an Xbox OS or a more interesting way of playing Windows. because you can play more on it. You know, your Steam library is there, your GOG library's there, your Epic Game Store library's there, your Xbox library's there. Fantastic, great idea, but they just need a price point that's actually going to be more appealing for the consumer.
Man.
Yeah.
And I am not like most people in that I'm comfortable. We know this. I cannot even fathom shelling out that much money. I can't even buy a Switch 2 because I will have a heart attack if I put out that much money.
Look,
I cannot imagine the average person shelling out that much money. That's insane. I'm sorry, it's insane. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
No, admittedly, I only bought my Switch 2 and my Steam Deck because I had extra money because of a bonus from work. And I made sure to save that money specifically for them. So
exactly.
But if I didn't have that money available to me, I probably would have bought neither, actually.
Right.
But hey. So this one is definitely like a probably not going to buy it. If it goes down in price at some point, it might be more of an interesting prospect. But the weirdest confirmation from this
I
is
like the idea.
Yeah, so do I. But the weirdest confirmation was that Hollow Knight Silksong is coming out day and date with the ROG Ally.
Yeah.
Okay. Amazing.
Yeah.
So there you go. People, you know, Silksong is there.
Okay, yay. No, I know everyone's looking forward to that.
Next up was The Blood of the Dawnwalker. So this is a visceral action game filled with all manner of vampiric goodness. So it's due out in 2026, Xbox Series X and S, PC and PS5. So they really have gone full into the every game is coming to PS5 now. Fine.
Yep, all into that.
I do not care. Donut.
Everything's an Xbox. Anyway, this one was a bit surprising to me. Super Meat Boy is making a return.
Oh yeah,
in
I saw
3D.
Yeah, it's cool.
Imagine Mario 64 for Super Meat Boy. Cool.
Yeah,
I've got no issue with this. 2026 for Series X and S, PC and PS5. I thought this looked kind of cool actually. Might be up my alley. Next up was Ninja Gaiden 4. Got another showcase for this, and this game is looking, oh boy.
Excited for it.
Yep.
I am very excited.
Developed by Platinum Games and alongside Team Ninja.
Yep.
Good stuff. So yeah, 21st of October. Looks great. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, The Order of Giants. This is the DLC for the Great Circle. Coming September 4th, and yeah, I think this looks cool as well. I didn't get along with Indiana Jones myself. I thought the combat was kind of a bit sucky to it, but I really like the exploration of the game. I think more of that. Yay. Fine, no issues there. If you really liked Indiana Jones, then fantastic. Next up, this was a bit weird. Game Freak.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, Game Freak were here. So, yeah, I always forget that they make games for other consoles.
I know.
Very rarely, but it does happen.
It happens.
So this is a game called Beast of Reincarnation, a third-person action game where you and your lovely dog take on all manner of giant, daunting-looking monsters. Coming in 2026, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. I actually had no issue with this. I thought it looked quite nice, actually.
It did look very good.
For a Game Freak game, it looked quite modern.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
I'm probably going to go out on a limb here, and I will say this with absolute certainty from my side. This is without a doubt probably the best game that I've seen across the entirety of the whole of the showcases. Made by In Exile, I think it is. Clockwork Revolution.
Yeah.
This game looks unbelievably sick.
Mm-hmm.
This is an action adventure game with shooting and RPG-like mechanics, where time manipulation is clearly a thing, and my god, is that art style absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I'm so on board for this. I really need it to have a release date because I want this right now. Pump it into my veins. Good God, yeah. Finally, Xbox I think have come out with a really, really good exclusive game, but won't be exclusive to the Xbox platform. But hey, look, it looks fantastic. Let's not take anything away from it. Next up, a game that I do not care about because we know why. Grounded 2. I can't play it. I can't play it. But I do like the idea that obviously it got announced here. They had the showcase at the end of it as well with Outer Worlds 2 because both Obsidian games, and they showed a lot more about it. It's now set in a park rather than a backyard. And it's another one that's coming to the game preview and it's actually sooner than we think. So 29th of July.
Yeah.
So next up was Chronos: The New Dawn. So a gameplay trailer that was showing off. So third person survival horror with a sci-fi setting. Looks okay, I think. Not too bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, fall 2025 for this one. Elder Scrolls Online: Season of the Worm Cult.
Yeah.
Moving on, don't care.
Yeah.
No offense to ESO, I've got no interest in it. Aphelion, I think it is. So this is the reveal trailer for Don't Nod's next game.
Oh,
it's a sci-fi game in which you must survive a dangerous planet you found yourself marooned on. I didn't really care much about this game at all, but then again, I think I've fallen off Don't Nod games for quite a while. So, 2026 for this one. No Ghosts at the Grand. This was a weird trailer.
Oh, that's a weird one. Yeah.
Yeah. So a paranormal village decoration, refurbish and cleaning game with a mystery at its core.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to think about this one.
I love cleaning games, so I was like kind of on board with the cleaning aspect and the everything, but then it went weird like halfway through the trailer.
Yep.
And it was like, oh no, there's no ghosts here, but there are, and I'm not really sure what you have to do to them. It was very weird.
Yeah, it was very strange.
Yeah.
I will say its art style was a little bit interesting, but I'm just not sure about the core design of the game and the mechanics of the game.
I probably will play through it just because it is a cleaning / decorating game, which I do love.
Do it. I can live vicariously through you then.
Okay, we'll do that.
So 2026 for that one. Age of Mythology Retold is a Heavenly Spear update, and not really my thing. Who cares? Next up was Mudang Two Hearts. So it don't really remember too much about this one, if I'm honest.
Yeah, me too.
It had a very unusual name. That's all I remember for it.
Yeah. I literally don't remember.
Planet of Lana... sorry, 2026 for that one. Planet of Lana 2, Children of the Leaf. So, it's a platformer. Cool. 2026 for that one. Don't remember much about this one. Might have been drifting off during this one a little bit.
Yeah, I think towards the end, because
Yeah. I mean, I think I was trying... I remember what happened with this one. Do you remember last Sunday we were obviously recording and there were some spoilers that were coming up? I wanted to watch this one whilst I was sort of doing bits and bobs with the editing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I might have been drifting in and out of this one because of that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a late night for me. No reason why. Anyway, it's Fallout 76 Gone Fishing. So
I wonder how this game is still a thing.
Why do they keep bringing it up?
It's not it's not going to happen. They keep trying to make it happen. It's not going to happen.
It's definitely the Mean Girls thing. Stop trying to make this happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
It's out now apparently. And did you get the joke, Kiley? Gone fishing.
I hate it. I hate it. And for our listeners who might be new to the program, I am a Bethesda fangirl. I am a Fallout.
You see that?
I love Fallout. Yes. Pete is baiting me. And I hate with the passion of 5,000 suns. I hate Fallout 76. Like, you can't fathom the hatred that I have for Fallout 76. Yeah. Steven says Fallout 76 was very badly received. Yes. I came across the joke about 50 years ago. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like someone put it up on the board and went, this will be funny.
This will be funny, her.
Yeah, okay.
I hate it.
Next up was games games that have names that are literally just words that are put up on a board in a random assortment and chosen.
That's another thing that I hate. Yes,
Solo Leveling Arise Overdrive.
Yep.
I haven't watched it, so I can't say anything.
So, modern anime and action game. It's coming 2026 to PC. Only to PC.
Yeah.
Interesting. Next up was Animo. I don't remember this at all.
I have no idea. I don't remember.
I don't remember this either.
If you like cute games, I guess. So, this was the Pokemon-esque Pokemon game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one I've got a feeling that Game Freak and Pokemon Company might go, hang on a minute, why are you doing this again? Yeah, that might be it. Anyway, so 2026 for that one. Next up, we got a big trailer for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, and oh boy, they definitely confirmed that Bam Margera's coming back. Which was good, because he should have been there in the first place, because he's part of the main roster. Yes. And part of 4's story has him involved, so yeah.
Yeah.
But
also, he could probably use the money.
Yeah, probably. Also, they've now got Doom Guy as a playable character, because Activision being part of Xbox makes sense.
Oh my gosh, okay.
There is a demo currently available for it, but I haven't played it because I don't want to, because I know I'm going to play this on Game Pass when it comes out on 11th of July, because this looks freaking amazing.
Remember when they did Shrek?
Yeah.
Shrek 2 came out. Shrek was a playable character. I love Shrek.
Yeah, do you remember Spider-Man in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2? An Officer Dick.
Oh my gosh. Yes! Oh my gosh.
Because that was edgy 2000s humour.
Yes,
We're going to call a character Officer Dick.
That was a different time.
Good times, yeah. This is day one for me. I'm not sure I'll buy this on Switch 2, because I'll just play it. I'm going to play it on Game Pass. If I like it, I might pick it up for On the Road. So next up was At Fate's End. So this was a lush 2D game. It doesn't really say much about it other than that. So 2026 for this one. Another world premiere. So next up was Gears of War Reloaded. So they showed a bit more about the remaster to the remaster. Obviously it's on Game Pass. Cool, but I'm not paying 70 quid for that.
No.
I could just go and play Ultimate Edition. Anyway, 26th. It does look nice. At least 120 frames for the multiplayer modes, which is really good. Really, really good. So, nice upgrade in that respect. Next up, the tiniest of tiny reveals that was really terribly kept secret.
Yeah.
Thanks, Yuri Lowenthal, you idiot. Persona 4 Revival. So this is the remake to Persona 4 that's coming, and this is the worst kept secret in the world.
Yeah. I genuinely don't think it was ready to be shown off, but they're like, we have to make something.
No, I think they kind of did. They sort of scrambled. It was like, oh crap, they've sort of revealed our hand. We better make sure we have something. The most interesting thing about it, though, is actually that it was on an Xbox showcase rather than a PlayStation one.
Oh
I mean, Atlas tend to team with Xbox for more stuff, I feel like.
They are nowadays, but remembering that obviously Persona for the longest
Yeah.
time was PlayStation centric. Now
Yes,
it
it
seems to
Yeah.
be changing a bit more.
Mhm.
Yep.
So, next up was Season 17 of Sea of Thieves, Smuggler's Tide. So you now get to play as an actual smuggler. Because
That's
I thought that
cool.
the main game actually was about smuggling goods.
I did too, but I need to play that. I haven't played it.
I haven't either. I would probably should jump on and play it at some point together.
Really should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be a fun game to play together.
Yeah.
So that's coming in August of 2025. Next up was... What is up with fighting games at the moment? Jesus Christ. Invincible Versus. This appears to be a 3v3 tag fighter set in the Invincible universe.
Oh my goodness.
Coming
Oh,
2026, and I don't care about Invincible, but the gameplay looks fun.
Yeah.
It does look alright, actually.
Oh goodness.
So if it's on Game Pass, you better believe we're gonna play it. So next was the reveals that everyone probably knew was coming at some point. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is coming this winter for Xbox, and Final Fantasy 16 is currently out right now. So it got shadow dropped. However, they are not on Game Pass. They are purchasable.
I do wonder if Square just doesn't want to do like Game Pass because
I
it's
don't-
like a hassle, maybe.
No, I think that
Yeah.
they know that this is gonna sell copies on these consoles, so they're like, okay,
Yeah.
let's just get some money for them and then put them on Game Pass, possibly.
Yeah.
No problem, Brent. Thanks for coming back. He was AFK for a bit when his dad called. So.
That's okay.
Next up, we have Keeper. Weird one, but weird is good, it says. So this is Double Fine's next game, where you play as a walking lighthouse.
Yeah.
This is a very much a Tim Schafer game, and fair enough.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. I got no issues with it, because art style-wise, very, very striking. Very much a Double Fine game, and yeah, I'll probably give it a play. Give it a play.
Yeah.
So, 17th of October for Series X and S and PC, so no PS5 for this one, actually. Weird enough. Next up, we had Big Phil come out and talk about, obviously, the new ROG and a few other things that are due to come. Says that so next year is probably going to be the one. It says new Fable, Forza, so it's basically confirmed the next Forza game is coming next year. Gears of War E-Days next year. New Fable is definitely next year. And there's also teased something else about a series that has been there from the very beginning, which people are speculating is Halo.
Oh, I don't know.
Is that the new game or is that the remake that has been rumored for how long?
If they remake Combat Evolved again, then Jesus, what the hell?
I love Halo. We know this. It's not a secret. They already did a great, fabulous remake of CE and 2.
Yeah. The only thing the only thing that 343 ever did right with Halo.
Yes. 100%.
Which has now been rebranded as Halo Studios because they failed so badly.
They're terrible. They're terrible. This is a walking lighthouse. I know, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's a Tim Schafer thing. I will say this though. Like if that comes to Xbox, like if Halo ever comes like outside of Xbox to like PS4, I think that means like they're definitely gonna go like the Sega route.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people asking that. Like, what's the problem?
So I think the ROG Ally basically shows what their next generation of console will be. It will be sort of like a Steam Deck where you can do both, or like a Switch. I think that's
that would make sense. It's cheaper.
I think that's going to be their last one. Like then it will be right. We're fully all in to.
I'm starting to believe that myself. Yeah, I didn't used to, but I am now coming around to that.
Yeah, because my thing was just like we've seen this story before with Sega, basically.
Yep,
Yeah.
we did. Except Sega's decline was so much quicker.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's for sure.
Yeah, and a lot of mismanagement between Japan and America because they could not.
That's
They did
gonna
not
say.
like each other. In fact,
No.
we should definitely do an episode at some point about the downfall of Sega because Jesus,
Probably.
that story is
That could be a
awesome to
good one.
talk about.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
We should
That might be worth it.
put that on the pipeline at some point. Let's discuss it. I know plenty of Sega people that could come on and talk about that one. Anyway, we're divulging
That'd be good.
because we've got one more game to talk about, and this is the one more thing. And what the hell, Xbox? You dropped the ball, but everyone should have probably expected this one. Call of Duty Black Ops 7.
Yes.
Who cares? Did have a bit of surprise Peter Petrelli though, which is a bit weird.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the actor's name is. I just remember him from Heroes, and that's it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. This no.
It's just.
Why was this your closer, though?
Sorry. Why was it?
Why was this their closer, though? Like, I don't. Yeah.
It is still their biggest seller. I mean, it is.
I know, but it's like COD is yearly, is the thing.
This has not been given a
Yeah,
release
at this
date or
point.
window yet, so it might not even be this year.
It's not this year though, because like they don't do
So
like a
over it.
campaign every year anymore, because like Warzone is a thing.
No, I'm
Over
done.
it.
I'm done. I'm done with
Yeah.
Call of Duty. Black
Yeah.
Ops 6 was enough to get me slightly interested for a couple of weeks, and that was it.
And that was it.
But that was only because there was
Agreed.
a slight advancement in gameplay, and now it will just be like, this is it. That's all. That is all. So yeah, the one big thing, yeah, Sony did it well. The Xbox did it terribly. Congratulations, Xbox, you screwed the pooch. But yeah,
I
Kylie's
didn't
right.
say
It's
nothing
Activision
about
Blizzard,
it.
and it's now Xbox's biggest franchise. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I just don't think you should be closing with like a bi-yearly game that's
No,
always going to
you
come
should
out.
not. You should definitely.
Yeah.
Honestly, if they
I
would have put
agree.
that in place of Clockwork Revolution, had Clockwork Revolution to finish, I would have been
Yeah.
well happy with that.
Yeah, same.
I could have
Yeah.
seen that. I could have seen that. Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah. Brent's put, did I miss Outer Worlds 2? Yes, you did. Have some points to make. Firstly, it's first party game priced at $80. Yep, that was mentioned. But at the same time, the first physical release with no disc, just a download code. Oh, we didn't say about that before. That is
I
awful.
did
What the
not
hell?
notice that. Yeah.
Oh, what?
Ah.
Yeah, we didn't go into the actual Outer Worlds 2 showcase or Grounded 2 because we all didn't watch it. So, yeah.
But how are
And
they
I love-
doing? How are they allowed to get away with that?
I
though?
don't know, honestly. I don't know. But anyway, we've done 2 hours on 3 showcases, which for us usually would be 2 hours on 1 showcase, so we've done
I was
alright.
gonna say
Yeah.
that's pretty good actually.
Yeah.
So just to close it out, what did we think about the Xbox showcase? Kylie?
It wasn't awful, but it wasn't great. It wasn't
Yeah.
great. And I'm an Xbox. We know this. I'm an Xbox fangirl,
Export.
and I would put it at mid. That's where I'd be sitting at. Mid.
Nana, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I'd say also mid because like this was like the worst one for me. Like outside of Clockwork Revolution and the Game Freak game, I would say there was nothing that like really interested me here.
Yep.
Yeah, outside of those, obviously Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, but that's a known entity and we've seen it already.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clockwork Revolution is a game that is 100% on my radar now, and I think that game looks unbelievably good. So, other than that, I wasn't blown away by anything in particular in this particular showcase, whereas, at least with the PlayStation State of Play, there was a few really good surprises in there, and obviously
I agree.
Marvel Tokkon is just an entity that is just something that's more interesting to me than Invincible's Versus in terms of fighting game. So I just
weird.
I wasn't sold on this one, but out of the 3 showcases, it was probably the worst. But that's to say, still wasn't that bad actually.
I was gonna say we have even live reacted to way worse.
Oof.
So in the
Yeah.
past,
Yeah.
there's
Honestly,
been-
that one where I was sitting on holiday with you last year, that was pretty bad.
Yes.
And I had the spottiest connection, and I was watching it on a Nintendo Switch, and Jesus Christ, that was bad.
But yeah, because the showcase itself was awful.
Yeah.
There was nothing. There was nothing.
Yeah, I literally had more fun talking to you the whole time than actually watching the showcase. Whereas this one, I did actually think, this is not bad. Like, not terrible.
Yeah, not terrible. That's what I would say. Not terrible.
But I would say out of all three of the showcases, I think that the PlayStation one was probably the more interesting out of all of them. But surprisingly, for once, Summer Game Fest wasn't a complete snooze fest.
It wasn't. It was good.
It was. I wouldn't say it was good. I would say it's like mid to okay. Good. Mid to okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
So. Right, that's it. That's showcase season. Now we can move on with our lives and get back to normal stuff. Kylie, close us out, please.
Okay. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this episode. We enjoyed having you listen to us on this episode. This is the part where I say, hey, Nana, where can they find you out there on the interwebs?
So you can find me on my blog, which is MMARFO blogs.wordpress.com. I mainly just talk about anime and video games over there. So if you want to see that and maybe read a bit more about my Steam Next Fest experiences that I talked about, you can go there. And then you can find me at Nana_Marfo on Twitter and I think Instagram as well if you want to see like art and stuff.
Awesome.
Yes.
They will be linked in the show notes. So the blog, Blue Sky, or Twitter, and all the like. So please go and give him a follow because he does a lot of good work for this channel. We must say, whilst you've got him here, thank you for everything that you do for us because I think we'd be lost to the algorithm if those thumbnails weren't there at least.
It's true.
And the clips as well.
Yes. And he mods my channel along with Pylord, which without them, I wouldn't be able to finish half the games that I do. And 2, they keep all the baddies away.
They do. He even did it on this one whilst we were recording.
Yeah, that's right. Brent says, I was surprised not to see Ken Levine's Judas anywhere. I wonder if it's been delayed. I bet it has.
I reckon so.
That's my gut instinct.
Mm-hmm.
But fingers crossed it's going to be a good one because he is a good storyteller. He is.
Yeah.
I just don't like his later stuff. But anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, Pete, what about you? Where can they find you out there?
You can find me manhandling, or not really, the Twitter and Blue Sky accounts. On Twitter, search RR Radio Pod, and on Blue Sky is Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast. But you can also hear my voice on another podcast called The Never Watchers, which is a film and TV related podcast where one of us has watched it and the other hasn't. I keep saying it, we will be coming back soon with A Few Good Men, but like everything else, the few good men on the podcast can't organise a date to save their lives. So, but that's hopefully going to happen soon. So I will be letting you know when that episode will be recorded and out. But we do Marvel stuff, and there is currently a Thunderbolts. That's the one. It was a film that I forgot even happened. Yeah, there's a Thunderbolts episode and a whole back catalogue of Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff, as well as some other does the movies episodes as well. So that's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other places that you might find your podcasts. Cool. Kylie, where can I find you?
Well, I'm never very far away, that's for sure. I'm not on
unless it's your phone.
Social media. I was going to say, I'll send my phone. I think Pete messaged me at some point today, and I didn't see it.
You did read it, at least, to say what the time was.
I did. And then sometimes I read messages, and I think I've answered them because I did it in my head, but my hands didn't do it. And that really upsets people a lot. But it's how my brain works. You can probably hear Apollo right now.
Yes.
I don't know what he's barking at. But I stream more than anything because I'm not on social media. over on twitch.tv/KILEY_WILDE. I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays at 6:30 p.m. UK time. Mondays are FPS Mayhem Mondays. Wednesdays are our Weird Wednesdays. And Fridays are our Frightening Fridays, where we play scary games that hopefully I'll eventually finish Resident Evil 9. Maybe. Soon.
Someday.
Probably.
Resident Evil 9?
But
Resident Evil 8, you mean?
I meant 8. See, I'm already in the future, man. I'm living in the future. I'm so far ahead.
Is there something you're not telling us? You've already played 9 because you're an actual time traveler.
Yes, I am a time traveler, and I have a special relationship with them. But I also sometimes just stream when I feel like it, when I'm lonely and I want to talk to people. And most of the people that you see here in chat, in fact, all the people that you ever see here in chat are part of my chat as well. And it's a very fun crew. They cheer me up all the time, and we cheer each other up if they're having bad days. So if you want to come chill and just have a fun time, it's not a stress chat. It's a so low-key chill chat. You can talk about whatever you want. We just don't hurt other people. Or if you come in and you're like, there's grumpy people out there who like other people to be grumpy with them. We're not that type. We will cheer you up, but you can't bring us down. So, no. But if you want to come around and hang out, do that.
Sweet.
But outside of that, that is only me. And I think that's going to do it for this episode. It's been a very good episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed it out there. TV Land? I didn't mean that. I meant Never Neverland. But TV Land works too.
Yeah.
But we want to thank Nana for joining us as well.
Thank you for having me.
Same time next year?
Yes, as always. Yeah. It's a standing invitation forever. And Britt actually brings up a very good point. We talked about Michael Crichton recently in my chat. We just did a whole discussion. Britt brought up facts and that I was never even knew. I love learning new stuff. So if you want to come to my chat and teach me things, I'm all ears, man.
It's a bit worrying. Being all ears is a bit weird.
I am. I'm a walking ear. I walk with my earlobes. Anyway, that's going to do it for this portion. If you do come hang out with us at twitch.tv/rapid reviews, you can hang out before the chat or before this stream and after the stream. Nope. Before the podcast and after the podcast on the stream, where we get to talk and chat and say things and stuff. But that's going to be
we drink and cuss and smoke.
We drink and cuss and smoke. And blackjack and hookers. They're all there. The whole crew. That's gonna do it with us. For us. Not with us.
For us.
Whatever.
Without us.
We've enjoyed your company. We hope you've enjoyed ours. And we will see you and talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast. You can watch the recording of the show live on Twitch every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. UK time at www.twitch.tv/Rapid Reviews. You can also watch the podcast on YouTube, search Rapid Reviews 5534, and you can also watch the video version of the show on Spotify, just search Rapid Reviews Radio. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, a rating, or a comment on this episode. You can also follow us on Twitter at RRRadiopod, as well as on Blue Sky at rrradiopodcast.bsky.social. Also be sure to visit rapidreviewsuk.com for all the latest reviews and previews.